Hello there survivors and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today we're taking a look at some of the best builds that were made on my community server for Valguero. If you didn't know, I host my own community cluster with all the different maps, and if you want more information about it as well as how to join it, make sure you join my Discord, which is linked below. And every once in a while I challenge my community to show off their base creations. These bases were all created during the playthrough of Valguero, and there's some really cool builds in here, from very cool modern bases, breeding facilities, castle rebuilds, much more. There is a lot to explore, so let's get into it. Of course, since people use a lot of cosmetics, I won't know exactly which mods they have been using, but if you want to check out which mods we run on the cluster, of course you can find that information on my Discord. But hopefully these builds will help serve as some kind of inspiration for your next building project. And if you enjoy seeing these types of videos, of course make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support. So this base here has all the shapes going on. As you can see, it's a modern masterpiece, you could say. There's all sorts of different shapes combined into one modern, sleek looking base with some nice gardens around it as well for a really cool aesthetic here in the chalk cliffs on Valguero. And we're right here at the little arrival platform. There's a teleporter there as well. If you're wondering, it's located right over here on the map. And quite a good spot, especially down below on the other side with the lovely cherry blossom trees. But in general, very pretty location here, of course, in the middle of the chalk cliffs on Valguero. And as you can see, we have a beautiful little arrival spot here with a small teleporter, some nice plants to make this plaza feel more cozy. And then we have the transmit here too, so that you can transfer it off to the different maps. We have a lovely little garden here to the sides and many walkways we'll get to, because that's how we'll connect back down into the gardens down below. But first off, let's check out this base. The building itself. It is quite a cool build, to be honest. As you can see, we have a bunch of different cool looking shapes, all blended together quite well. I must say, when I saw this being built, I was a little confused and worried about how on earth he was going to combine all the different shapes together, but it seems like he's managed to do so, and he's done a pretty damn good job at it. So yeah, let's go check it out. Let's see what it's all like on the inside, because these bases are all built in survival on my community server. So if you want to join, you can check out all the information about it in my Discord. It will be linked below. And yeah, we can see what they've worked. A little over a month, I think it's been, since Valguero launched for us. So yeah, look at this. A lovely daddy floor here. Nice and organized. We got some vaults back there. Lots of modern looking equipment in here, using a lot of the astral cosmetics by the looks of it. At least that's the ones that I quickly recognize. For those people's asking for all the cosmetics, I don't really know what people use, so it's hard to say for me exactly what they use. But if I see specific ones, I will let you know. But there's definitely a lot of the new astral cosmetic, which is really good. I also see the seamless skin has been used a little bit, and I think modern glass has been used, but not entirely sure on that one. But I'm fairly sure. I think so, at least. Yeah, we got this lovely like half circle in here too, which is really cool, which is definitely one of the shapes that I was worried, how is he ever gonna mesh that in to the rest of it. But it seems like he did a pretty decent job here with this window above. Of course, we have clipping and overlapping all enabled on this server, so you can easily get away with some cool shapes like this. But it definitely gives a very organic feel to the whole build instantly. And then we have another daddy floor here, although this one seems to not be used that much yet. More crafting layouts all over the place. We got the big forge up here as well. I really like this astral forge kit. It's really nice. All in all, I really like the layout of this room. Seems to be a lot of crafting going on down here, and I'm pretty sure that these are some of the elevators, although, well, this one has gotten me kind of stuck into some secret storage, or, well, I don't know if that's meant to be a location, but I can be in the floor here. That doesn't feel right. That does not feel like it's supposed to be there. Why am I ending up in the floor, Jack? Well, I'm not sure what that's all about, but I guess I'll just go up there myself. I'm not sure. Is it because I'm tiny? Do I get stuck in the floor because of that? We're here. We have a little kitchen area by the looks of it. We have some lovely balconies. Oh, I guess this is kind of an open layout, this layer of the build, which is quite cool too. Again, there's some really nice views, of course, here in the chalk cliffs. Definitely some really cool views. Oh, I love the look of this. Very modern, sleek design here. You could have some really cool tribe meetings, staff meetings, whatever. And we have some cool table here too, overlooking the rest of the crafting room. Thinking this might be the actual elevator. There we go. There we go. This is a working one. I don't know what the other one's for. Well, at the one side, at least we saw the vaults. At the other side, I was just very, very much stuck inside, which, yeah, not too sure about. It feels like a trap. But I think we should also be able to go further up. And now we're here at that window. So this is where we have that very round bit that has been neatly circled around to make everything fit. We have some more nice rooms here. Very good views here. I like the usage of glass here because, yeah, you definitely want to preserve the views as much as possible. So we have a bathroom here with not a lot of privacy, but you do have some really cool glass. I think the glass with the dino prints is from Architect Structures Remastered. And I keep forgetting that that's a thing, but it is pretty damn awesome. Like, I love these prints. They are very, very nice indeed. Very, very cool. And we've got a lovely bedroom here in general. Nice balcony to go out into the world from. Very, very cool. And it seems like we have another little room back here with a custom bench. I'm not sure if this is supposed to have skins on it. It doesn't seem like it. At least for me, it doesn't show that there's skins. So I think this is all just normal. I mean, it might be me, but it doesn't say that there's a skin being applied to it. So I'm not quite sure about it because everything else seems to be skinned. But yeah, we have some pretty cool stuff here in general. We have another room over here with a very pretty drakeling right there. That looks very cool. Looks like we have a bedroom. Someone's sleeping right here. Another bathroom here with very little privacy, like you were pretty in view there, but you do have an awesome view of the gardens down below from up here too, so that is quite the advantage. And then I think there's another level up here which seems like a really good spot to park a flyer, and there seems to be another teleporter here, so maybe this goes up. No, it does go down. It does go down to this platform, but does this one go up? There we go. We have another one going up, and we have some lovely owl griffins here. Very cool colors too. And there we go. Yeah, and from here we can see all the different layers as well. Like you have that platform out here, which looks quite cool. Seems like a decent size as well. You could definitely do some breeding out there. And then you have the different platforms for your flyers up above too. And of course, all your crafting, storage needs, the personal bedrooms. And then we have these walkways going all the way around the place, which are definitely some really cool, funky vibes with some cool supports to make it look all a little bit more realistic. And I like how they integrate into the landscape. So they're definitely not symmetrical both sides, of course, but they do look quite cool. And they give you a nice pathway down all these awesome waterfalls that are located here. And then, of course, this cherry tree island that is normally already here, that has been turned into one big garden, which looks absolutely incredible. So definitely want to check that out. So I think probably a lot of the natural trees that usually spawn here have unfortunately been demolished, because that's the thing. You can never have nice things, because as soon as you start building and one thing gets destroyed, everything kind of gets destroyed. But yeah, with JVH you can at least plant your own trees, and this seems to be quite a lovely little garden area. We have a nice greenhouse here in the middle from the looks of it, at least. Growing some different crops out here, and some really cool water features here in the middle. Looking very, very nice. A nice little feature there. Nice little fountain waterfall going on. And just, yeah, some really nice gardens. I always like a good garden. And this one is very nice, with the pathways all laid out everywhere, connecting up to all the different locations here. And we can kind of just have a fun walk around, some lovely little corners where you can sit and relax, enjoy your views, enjoy the day, take a break of your ARK adventures. And yeah, some really cool gardens going all the way around. I know this was quite heavily attacked early on. Things kept falling down in here and trying to attack them here. So seems quite peaceful now though. And we've got a lovely little bridge here going over this little river that's been made with I want to say crystal cosmetic, but it could be a different one. I don't know. There's quite a few things out there now, so it's always kind of hard to say which skins they are for sure. But definitely a lovely little garden area this has become. And I think these floating petals in the air are from the botanist catalog, which is also a really cool one if you want to decorate your garden. And that is a cosmetic, so you can use that anywhere, which is quite good. But yeah, this is a really cool base. Really cool base, some really awesome details and some great shapes all working together nicely. And then a nice peaceful back garden. You know, you want to have something lovely like this, preserving the view and incorporating that into your main ARK base. For this build, we dive into the aberration zone of Valguero, and we have a beautiful breeding facility down here using some very clean and sleek designs, modern looks, and by the looks of it, plenty of space for all of your different breeding projects. So yeah, we are here in the aberration area on Valguero, so these are the coordinates, but obviously you'll need to be already down into aberration before you can get here. It's actually opposite of, well, the portal room, or at least what looks like what is called the portal room on aberration. Normally it's right at the opposite side, which is quite a cool view to have down here, of course. And as you can see, it's rather big, this breeding facility, with, by the looks of it, plenty of different breeding projects on display, which is going to be quite cool. And from what I can see, it is at least using the seamless skins for these really clean white looks as cosmetics, which is definitely a really good choice in general. It's definitely a really nice skin for these modern type builds. And there's also some little there's also some big creatures on display here on the outside. We have some carcass there, and we have some reapers over here on this side. But we have a whole build to check out. Let's first do a little flyby in the air. We can see the cool different shapes, the different layers for all of the different creatures. You can already see some different ones here, different griffins, some rock drakes there, some phoenix. You can look inside a little bit. We see Maywing. We see this really cool hole, all the cool different shapes going over into each other. And then we have this side of the building here too. Definitely looks like a really cool modern building, but it's made by someone that breeds a lot, so I expect it's going to be quite a practical breeding facility on the inside too. So let's go ahead, go inside, check this out, see what it's like. We can already definitely tell that there's going to be quite a few different breeding projects going on. Oh my god, look at this sleek looking floor out here. We have some lovely surroundings. Quite cool to see some cool buildings here in the Ab Zone in general. We have some S version of the Pyromanes right there. We got some bears, some shiny bears right here by the looks of it. And yeah, we're right in the middle of the breeding facility. And of course, this is going to win some hearts. A proper Cosmo breeding line. I've brought my own Cosmo as well. This is the special Peter Parker edition. But good to see some Cosmo action going on anyway. Like, I love that guy so much. And then we have a bunch of different Deinonychus. I actually got my colors from Dutch as well. I've got the lighter version of that one though, but seems to be a lot of cool different color options on display here for sure. I love the Deinonychus as well. It's been my main creature here on Val. I refused to use Flyer, so I used Cosmo and Deinonychus to get around for the most of it, and it's been absolutely amazing. Looks like we have some of the machinery expected for breeding going on everywhere as well, and we have some of the Lilus. One of the new paleo creatures. We like to call it Lilus. Obviously not the actual scientific name, but that's just how we name them. But some really cool colors at display. Definitely some really cool creatures. There's a very strong herbivore, which is always nice for a change. Seems like we have plenty of different ways to go from here. So let's go here first. Let's do this like whole side first. Looks like we have some elder claws on display, some beautiful little butterflies, different colors glowing all around us, and also some artifacts here on display too. Quite cool to see those. Some icons around, some pretty nice views around the base, of course, of the surrounding area, which is definitely really nice too. We have some more elder claw here. It's kind of like a little disco. It makes me want to rave in here with all these different elder claws and the different colors they are showcasing. It definitely feels like an appropriate moment. Looks like there's some cool displays going on here of the different bosses that you can face on ARK. And again, a really nice view here of that portal room right from here. The heart of the base, I would assume, kind of feels like the middle at least, so we can kind of walk through that. So that's how we just got in here. There's more to that side, obviously. So this is kind of the central hall here at the first floor, and we can see some of the different creatures lined up everywhere. Got some of the utilities in here, some more icons going on, and then we have another whole hall here. We have some Gigantoraptors, and these are some serious Gigantoraptors for sure. There's some cool different color combos available here. I can hear the drinklings going crazy already. Looks like we have some displays here on some cool creatures. Always like a nice creature display. And we've got some more going on over here too. Some nice plants going on as well, and some more of the artifacts here, and the teleporter, of course, to get into the base, and then one of the other entrances on the other side of the building. I think that pretty much covers the bottom layer of the build, but that's far from everything. There's definitely way more to check out, so let's follow these pathways around and let's go up to the next layer here. I guess there's also some elevators to teleport around, but for now we'll just keep to walking. So this kind of looks into that layer we were just at, which is quite cool. So a little bit of an open layer design, which probably means that there is potentially room for some taller creatures in there. We got some different creatures all lined up through here. So some Yeeling, some snow owls, nice and cozy. There we go. These are the Drakelings. We heard a bunch of them lined up here. Different sorts available. Different pathways available up here too. Then we have a bunch of the tech trikes, some bison, and we got some really cool looking mega raptors here. Some S versions as well as the normal versions. Some pretty cool colors available already as well. Quite a fun tame, to be fair. The Mega Raptor, I quite enjoyed taming some of those, although I did keep it at 2. After that I was like, I've done enough. I've done enough. But definitely a fun creature. We got some of the Esme wings here as well. Some Theres right behind it. They might be getting a TLC next year. That's going to be interesting to see what they're going to be like after that. We got some bees zooming around somewhere, I think, because, well, I can hear a bee at least. And again, some awesome views of our surroundings. So again, a pretty packed layer on here. Looks like we do have some teleporters going on here, so we can easily go up and down to all the different layers should we want and need to. And we have access to the balcony here on the outside too. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything, but yeah, definitely we have a nice and central walkway to get around all the different layers. Then this one here goes to the outside, I think. Oh, I'm not allowed to go to the outside there, but I do think that goes to the outside. And then this up here still has some indoor space, so we have some greenhouse going on, including some elder claws being grown. And this is the bee we heard, which is, I guess, dropping some honey around. A little bit of greenhouse action. More artifacts on display here, and even more elder claws here, but I guess these are for breeding since the hatching is right next door. We have a nice cool rock drake here too. I really like the layout of this place in general too. And then we got some cool phoenix here out on display. Very cool. Yeah, I like the different shapes, the different pathways, the whole layout of the base. Quite cool indeed. Not allowed to go in there, but it seems like there is a little bit of a storage crafting room by the looks of it. Not sure if we... Oh yeah, we can just go around it, I suppose. We can quite easily get in there. But yeah, we have a little bit of a storage system going on here, although not really in use yet by the looks of it. And then we do have some more elevators to get around as well. We have a little bit more crafting going on here. Let's see. We weren't allowed to go out there, but that's just a balcony on that side, I think. So that means we can take one of those elevators up to the next layer. Pretty sure we have seen most of the things over here. So if we teleport up, we have a bunch of storage here for different creatures. Got more creatures around here too. Some cool looking shinies here as well. We have a lot of little cute drakelings and plenty of other things to explore, including some nice statues of the bosses. I don't think these are dermises, right? No, these are, I think, from the wall and floor deco mod, seeing they have these cool displays. Or maybe they are. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know. They could be either, I guess, because they are alpha colors, so maybe they are. I'm not quite sure if the displays are in the deco mod. They might be. There's a lot of things in there. Yeah, we have some more storage up here too, and well, yeah, we have all the bosses going on. And we have access to the rooftop, so even more space up here, as we can see. There's some flying friends here. We have some of the owl griffins that we have here, modded flies on the server. We have some other color variants of those too. And of course, some griffins, this case, the S griffin, looking very cool and mean. And then some more rock drakes right over here with some really cool and fancy color combinations. But in general, just a very cool looking base. I really like the layout of it. I like that it is not symmetrical everywhere, but it's got some really cool funky different shapes. Looks like it's got a pretty practical layout, and there's definitely room for a bunch of different creatures on the inside. So yeah, there we go. Definitely a really cool breeding facility here. And yeah, I love the view, the portal room, and I love that this kind of looks like the portal shape too. Like it kind of matches that aesthetic, although of course much cleaner, much more modern, but definitely a really cool base. And someone just woke up here. And here we have another really cool, modern, sleek-looking base, combining some bunker vibes with some cool lights and mostly some really cool decorations, bringing it all to life. So still here on Valguero, as you can see, pretty close to the green obelisk. We're located right over here on the map. And as you can see, this is quite the cool base with the practical meeting the nice aesthetics here. We have a nice little breeding zone right over here, as you can see by the terminal. We also have like a healing pad slash landing pad here for flyers, which is quite nice. We have a big tribe tower with the bunker structures custom cosmetics, and we have a bunch of different buildings for different purposes laid out over the base as well. Got this cool bridge kind of crossing from one cliff to the other. And if you're wondering about the foundation support, well, there is actually foundation support right down here, using the cozy cabins cosmetics to make it look like grass so it doesn't stand out too much, and providing the support needed right up here at the top, and then some pillars there connecting the base up with each other. And over here it looks like we have a nice looking greenhouse specifically for the new Elder Claw, bringing in some wooden vibes which are looking very, very nice. I always find that the wood and the bunker combine quite nicely, and especially in this design I think it works very, very well with some of these wooden aesthetics coming back, combining with the bunker, breaking up those color patterns a little bit. And of course a bunch of glass here to make sure that we have the full effectiveness on the inside as well. We have a fertilizing platform, and we have some elder claws on breeding here, and then of course the greenhouse so you can also safely hatch them, which is quite cool. I quite like that. Still fits the vibe, and we get some really cool views of the rest of the base whilst crossing the bridge back over to that side. Then over here there is plenty of more to see. We can see a lovely little garden here with a nice little pond using the crystal custom cosmetics, which is always a really cool look. And then just some JVH to kind of fill up the details and the landscaping a little bit. And then over here we have some more space. We have another little pond down there. We have some really cool looking buildings, and this is a little bit of a temple, a little bit of a shrine. We can pay respects to the emperor that lives here, the god Emperor Wild that lives here. You can bring your tributes, you can bring your treasures, and you know, pay him some respects. Although I feel like my little Cosmo deserves to be on that chair, but I don't want to, you know, call his anger on to me, so I'm not gonna do that just yet. And then we have a giant Drakeling here, which is using the Dino Depot display, so it still animates and still moves. Geez, that's a bigger creature than me on that size. So yeah, and then we have some more lovely gardens bits going on, and a really cool statue here in the middle, surrounded by the artifacts of the map, looking really, really cool. And then of course the main building right behind it. So we have the main little bunker. I really like the shapes on it as well, especially those little supports down below. And we have a little platform here at the back to land up, but yeah, we can see all the cool aesthetics all the way around, again combining those wooden textures with the bunker structures, although I do think this is not bunker, actually this is different concrete, I think, judging by the look of it. But we do have a very cruel biogrinder down here, you know, making your kibble, etc., and having a pretty cool view from back here. Actually, really cool view of the map. So yeah, I quite like these supports, these little legs supporting the main build, and the fact that you have a decent amount of space down here. Looks like there's a bunch of the storage system right down here, making use of every little bit of space, which is always nice to see. And then of course, if we go up here, we can go into the actual base, but we can also walk around on the balcony here on the outside, enjoying the views all around the base. But let's actually go inside. We have of course more crafting and storage here. We have a nice armor display over here, you know, showcasing all the different things. And we have also more of the storage, a little bit of a living room. We have a little bit of a, maybe not even a kitchen, more just a whole crafting room here with all the different stations you might need. We have some storage over here on the side, and then we can also go up to the next level. We have a little bedroom over here with some personal cryo fridges or dino depots, and now we have some more crafting over here on this platform. So quite a comfy and kind of, well, compact base, but still feels like it kind of offers everything you would need on your playthrough at most times. So always good to see. And then right next door, I think there is also a little greenhouse with some really nice wall designs here. Looking very, very nice indeed. Very sleek designs going on there. Again, not sure about all the different cosmetics used, but we have a nice little greenhouse here on the inside, looking quite cool indeed. Yeah, very nice. A very nice base. This is I kind of like the having dedicated little buildings for all different purposes and keeping a very compact base. It's very nice. You can't really lose things. Well, you probably still can, but it's a lot harder to lose things if your base is nice, small, and compact. And I'm back at Helms Deep, which is of course my tribe's base. I've done a few update videos on this place, and now it is finally mostly completed and ready for a maybe a final tour. We'll see if we'll do something extra in the future, but yeah, I decided to start right here in the middle for the new changes before showing you all of the build. And of course, if you're wondering, it is located right here on the map. And basically the main thing we've done is finishing touches, adding some final details, like of course the big dermis here of Alpha Grendel showcasing. We're a pretty cool tribe, to be honest, you know, pretty cool. And we have loads of little decorations here. As you can see, lots of greenery has been added here to bring it all to life. We have a large teleporter here in the middle to, well, teleport in anything big. If anyone else has even a teleporter of this size, to be honest, I don't know. But we do have one available. We also have the transmitter here, so for transfers using the Golden Dynasty skin. And then we have a bunch of the Viking Builders cosmetic around it, of course, because we've all kind of been using that for most of the things. And I think then the main changes for the rest of this place are actually found here to the side of the castle at the breeding pen slash well, the whole greenhouse facilities are all over here, making for some quite cozy vibes to the side of our castle here. So this is the side part of Helms Deep. We have, of course, the little watchtower that I made, but we also have some new stables Mr. Chicken made. We have the greenhouse Ellie made, and as you can see, plenty of space here to do some breeding projects for bigger creatures, and we have some stables down below here for some of our other creatures, looking very nice indeed. And of course also some cozy details, adding a little bit of plants and nice decorations around. We have a little bit of scaffolding holding up this broken part of our base. There's actually also an invisible wall in there, so nothing can get through there. And we have this lovely little bridge crossing over the river that flows out from our castle. We have some stables here with the Imperosaur from the Paleo mod. We have some parasaurs over here as well, and probably the coolest kid on the blog, a shiny Pelagonus right down here. And yeah, these stables are actually quite a nice design, especially for our sleeping Spino friends. We actually have a very cool specimen right over here with some cool colors, which is kind of my new color scheme going on for creatures. Definitely looking very, very cool and sleepy. And then we have some more stables over here with a bunch of different creatures with some really cool and nice colors all around the place. You might notice a pattern here of a lot of cyan. There we go. That's my little Deinonychus army there. A lot of cyan colors, a lot of pink colors you'll find in this tribe. There we go. Yeah, so this is the main new addition, or that's finally been finished over here, utilizing all the space that we have back here for different breeding projects and, you know, parking some of our tames down here. But that's not all we've done, of course. We have built an entire base, so I will show you around everything. One of the more recent additions, of course, has been the greenhouse, and it's mostly meant for elder claws, this one. So this is where we can hatch and grow elder claws so that we can have the lovely bears growing up here. And it looks like we have got some really cool pink glows out here. No surprises there, of course. But yeah, really cool greenhouse, and quite convenient actually for us to have a tree with a platform possibility right inside of our base. Of course, we do live in the redwood, so you would kind of expect trees to be around, but it's very convenient to have one right inside of our base, so that we can have something as nice as that. And then we kind of get into the main castle part. So of course we have the normal little greenhouse here as well, growing all sorts of different crops here in this little A-frame design made by Ellie. And then we have this really cool little cozy garden in the backyard here for some more plants that are growing, and also just a cozy little spot to hang out at. And then we have much more to explore inside of the castle itself. And then over here we have Chicken's house right here in the corner. We all made our own little houses in the outer circle of the castle, so we all have some cozy little places that are entirely our own and are of course really good spots to log out in. As you can see, there's a little bedroom right up there, making for a cozy little home in the big castle that we have, all using of course the Rohan inspired or Viking inspired theme, which was a really cool one to embrace as a tribe, work together on one base but still have your own little space to retreat to as well. If we then go further down the road, we'll get to my little house over here, which has this lovely little courtyard with my stable. So we've got a bunch of my Deinonychus and my Mega Raptors out here, and then we have my cozy little house here too. So a lot of the little cooking facilities for a proper Viking home, of course. And for some reason, some of my skins aren't loading in. But yeah, we have a little workplace out here. We have a nice little table and some treasures from all the Viking raids we've done, of course. And then all the way, I think this is the Australia skin that I normally have on there. Quite sure why that is not showing up, because there's more skins showing up here. But yeah, we have my little bedroom as well for my Cosmo friend that I used on my Valguero adventures until transfers were open. And then we have some treasures here as well, using the wall and floor deco mod, as well as the sculptures catalog for a really cool shark statue, and a little office here, a little working spot for me. But yeah, in general, just a cozy little house. This is actually one of the Rowan themed houses that I made a tutorial for, so you can actually build this one if you want to have one like this yourself. And then we move on to Crimson, her house right next to mine here. A nice cozy little building too. And then we have, of course, a little cozy interior, including a little living room and of course a nice little bedroom upstairs too. And then we actually have the main gate here as well, actually inspired by not the main gate of Helms Deep, but the one from Edoras. And I think it looks quite cool, using of course the Viking cosmetics to get those corner pieces in place, as well as the bones on top, and of course closing off the main gate so that we are totally safe inside, but still getting some really cool vibes in there in general. And then we have still much more to go, of course. We have then the next building up here, which is Ellie, her house, also looking very cool, and of course lots of little plants and decorations around it to really get that atmosphere going, which is really the main thing I like about the base. It really feels like a collection of cozy little corners that are connected throughout the entire build. Another lovely little garden out here before we move into another house here. So we have a little bedroom. We have, of course, a nice and cozy living room. And, of course, a bunch of little creatures all around us because, you can't really live without some cool and cute shoulder pads all the way around us. And then at the end here, we have Banana, his house. At the very end, also looking really cool with a nice courtyard out here with a bunch of nice details. And then we have a little workshop area inside under this little bridge that is already part of the castle. And then if we go around, we can see some more crafting utilities going around, some little details all the way around as well. Little pantry at the end there. And then up here is his personal bedroom at the very end of the building. But yeah, that's the main thing I really liked about this base. We have one tribe base. We have, of course, the main hall that we'll show in a little bit, but we also had space for all of us to have a small little house ourselves, to have a little bit of privacy going on. And then we have another really cool watchtower here, that Banana build right here on the end of the castle, to again bring in a little bit of those details. We tried to keep the structure count relatively low here since we're a decently sized tribe and we have a few console players among us, so we want to make sure that everyone still has enough performance to move around base without crashing. So yeah, this is of course the courtyard where we started, but we also have our tribe tower here with the really cool Viking builders cosmetics on it, which definitely give it a really cool little facelift. And then right behind it, of course, we have the main hall that we live in. Again, using mostly Viking builders cosmetics to get all these really cool little details all around it. We got a medium teleporter over there as well, so that we can teleport in with our gathering tames. We have an unloading system from visual storage so that we can instantly unload our stuff and make sure that it gets transported into the storage, which is right behind here. And then this is the main hall that we've got going on. I think the braziers have burned out because, well, we've been transferring away, so no one has been refilling it. But yeah, we have all the crafting and storage that we need, so it's all set up right here in this corner where kind of everything can be found. And then we have a bunch of extra storage all the way down the side here for all of the different things we might need. We have a to-do list. I think this hasn't been updated for a long time, so probably need to update this or remove it. I think we're pretty much done here. We have the tech wrap with the Viking skin, and because it's a dark cave, that does glow quite a bit, but it is a really cool cosmetic for a tech replicator. We have some forges around here as well, the grinder, and then of course a nice little tribe table, as well as a very upskilled cooking pot, I think this is, to get ourselves some really cool food. And I kind of fill out the hall as well as those big statues at the end because it is a very big space and we didn't really want to place too many structures down here. And then all the way at the end we do have a little bit of a dungeon going on too, which is really cool. We got our bio grinder here for some kibble making, and then down here we have some cool decorations and some more of the machines that don't necessarily fit in with the aesthetic that we have outside, so we use this back room. But yeah, as you can see, it's actually a very big space, a very big base, so for a tribe it's definitely a really cool location where you can start quite easily, because at the start you kind of just place down some foundations here on the inside and you have a base. You place a gate, you're good to go, you're safe. You have a very cool base, very big space to utilize. And then if you want to make it aesthetically pleasing, there is plenty of options to do so outside, as you can see. But yeah, it's been a really fun base to work on with the tribe. And then next up we have another really cool looking base here on a lake in the redwoods. And well, we have like a cool skyscraper looking building, but we even have a little boat on the lake. We have a water pen, I'm pretty sure, And we have some tree houses with gachas, I think. So let's go check out this build because it's looking really, really cool. And if you're wondering where it's located, it's actually right over here on the map. So quite central actually, and not too far from the rest of the map. So yeah, it is a pretty big base. As you can see, we've got a cool skyscraper looking building with some really nice shapes to give it a little bit more character here. But then we also have some tree platforms in the back. We have a tree that I think is included into the design. We have a little bit of water pen action going on. I mean, there's a pretty big lake anyway here. And we even have this cool modern looking boat to, you know, have some fun on the lake, I suppose. Or I mean, I'm not even sure if it's a raft or just a build, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be a full-on raft. Yeah, I think it is. There we go. It's a motor boat, so we can actually sail around on the lake and have some fun over there. Then we have the tribe tower here powering along, and a beautiful little platform here to enjoy the lake. You can see the mosa in the water here, just chilling along, and there seem to be a few little water pens here. I guess the mosa was slightly too big to properly fit inside, but yeah, there's also a bigger closed off water pen down this end. But more importantly, we have this awesome looking skyscraper design, and especially these lines that go up along the side of the building. Oh, I tried to point and apparently I have powered gloves. But yeah, especially those lines along the sides, I think look really, really cool. And with the added greenery, they definitely add a bunch of life to the place. So let's have a little walk around here for the feeling. But yeah, this build already feels quite big. I like the little tree there to add some greenery. We have a little bit of a garden along the side, and then of course some greenery along the front. We have this tree, which is quite cool, that's been integrated into a pathway as part of the base design, which is really, really neat. And then yeah, we have some greenery along the side there too. But first off, let's just check out this base. I'm not sure if it's unlocked, and if not, we're just gonna glide in anyway and we'll get into the base. Looks quite cool down here. I think there's a little bit of a crafting down here in the middle. Very, very nice indeed. And oops, someone passed out here as well. There we go. So yeah, just a nice little entrance way. And then we have, oops, we have a staircase up here to go to the next layer. Oh, we have a bio grinder in the floor here on this layer, and a little bit of cooking action going on, little greenhouse action as well, some plants around us, and oh, those plants are actually on the outside layer. That's quite cool. So they also serve as defense. Quite nice. A little tribe name sign. Yeah, quite like the look of that actually. And then we can go up to the next layer, which seems to be some kind of breeding layer. Some different breeding projects going on here. Also just a really nice interior layout, to be honest. Nice clean designs going on. And then we can follow this up even further. We have a storage system up here in this layer, big layer as well, and some pretty nice views of the surroundings, which is always great. And then we have a staircase to go up even further. We have another layer with some flyers. This one's open though, so you can easily fly in and out. So I guess this is kind of an easy spot to just park your flying teams and enter the base that way. And then, I mean, I can't really read the signs because they're very, very glowy indeed. But I assume these might be bedrooms up here. So personal rooms per person. Little thing behind the stairs. There we go. And we can go up. And we have a bedroom up here. So yeah, this is one of the bedrooms. And then I assume we'll have something similar here on the other side for the other persons. Because I think it's 2 people in the tribe. So we have a little bathroom down there. Cozy little living room up here. This is then the entrance, of course. And then we have the staircase up to this layer with another bedroom here. which looks very nice. Very nice indeed. And then we have a nice rooftop garden to finish that all, which is definitely looking very cool indeed. And a little bit of a greenhouse here at the very end as well. Very nice base in itself, and I would imagine that offers, well, pretty much everything you need. Like there's a lot of space in a small footprint, at least, like a small footprint. It's still a pretty big base, of course, but a small footprint that was needed to ensure all of that. And then we have this really cool way of including the landscape with your base. Get a glimpse of the treehouse here. So this brings you all the way down to the coast so that we can get to the tree houses. Not sure if there's a way up. Don't think so. So we have to fly up to one of the platforms. So this one, again, I like that the shapes are coming back, kind of matching it with that skyscraper. Really cool modern looking designs for the tree platform, which I'm not quite sure which cosmetic this is. I think part of it might be Flora Moderna. I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard to keep track of all the different cosmetics, but yes, definitely looking very cool. And then we have some snow owls in here. We have some gachas in this one. And then we have a vacuum that picks everything up right in there. So there seems to be some more spaces available, some more gachas back there. And then we have the central little room with power and some other bits and bobs that we might need here. And then we have some other platforms that are connected by these hanging bridges. Then we have another nice landing strip around here, and we have a bigger greenhouse here on the inside, I suppose. So plenty of things being grown up here. And then we even have another layer of greenhouse up there as well. So yeah, plenty of space to grow all of your different crops. And then we have another one of those cool looking platforms that looks very similar to that one over there. There's more owls in here, more gachas in here. So I guess this is just some nice gacha farming platforms to, you know, get some resources that way, with some nice grass on the roof, plants on the roof. Very nice little details, bringing this all to life and actually creating a really cool looking base. I really like the aesthetic of this, like the very modern build right here in the heart of the redwood. Next up, another build here in the aberration zone of Valguero, looking quite cool. And this was actually a player organized Halloween event. It was a spooky little haunted house to come and visit and yeah, find some hidden items, which was quite cool. But the build itself is also quite cool. So even though Halloween has come and gone by now, Fear Ascended has passed us, we'll still go in, we'll still go and check out these spooky vibes in the haunted house to see what it's like. But yeah, definitely a really cool build, and really cool to see on the community server as well, of course, to have these player organized events, players organizing fun activities for each other. And this base is located right here on the map. And yeah, we have some really cool use of the CKF structures here. The castle keeps and forts mod, which is well, probably the best mod if you want to build some cool medieval things. And of course, it's all server side, so we can actually all see the same thing without needing to install cosmetics. And there's a spooky shack here that we can explore, and there's a lovely garden out here with lots of little cool details and cool skeletons and plants and mushrooms, and embracing the aberration vibes for sure, but also incorporating some of the survival elements, of course, that you need in a survival base. And well, it's got a little bit of the creepy things as well, of course, a graveyard around us, some really cool spooky vibes. Oh, there's still some of the hidden chests around that were from the event that we can find. But yeah, in general, some really cool vibes out here. It's quite cool to have a map with an aberration zone so that you really have maximum kind of variation in the things that you can find. Seems like we have a nice little platform here, possibly for some breedings by the looks of all the utilities that are located out here. But it also just gives us a really nice view of the build, because especially from this side we can see it in proper lighting down here in Aberration, which is always nice. But yeah, nice greenhouse there to the side. The main building itself, I really like the shape and layout of this build, and then of course the garden around it and the little house there to the side as well. It all fits together very, very nicely and creates some really, really cool vibes. So before we go in, we'll go and check out the little house here at the side of the build, which I think is like a little breeding building. Not quite sure. Yeah, we can go in. So it looks like there is... So there's Reaper babies being born here. So that's where the little box is for. Well, that does make sense. You know, checks out being here in the Aberration zone, quite close to where you could run into some Reaper friends. And I guess that all makes sense now why there's also a giant ghost Reaper on the roof here. So it's time for us to go in and explore the spooky shack. Oh, except we're not allowed inside, apparently. They've closed up for the year. Spooky season's over. We'll have to go and see if another door is unlocked, otherwise I'm gonna have to break in. There we go. We don't have to break in. It's all fine. It's all good. We made it. We made it inside. We made it inside. We got a bit of the crafting area here in the middle. A little bit of a kitchen going on here. Generator back there. Some cool little friends all the way around us. But yeah, this is mainly storage and crafting. Of course, every base is gonna need some of that, but I do really like the aesthetics of the place and just the general vibe that you feel in here. And then we have a lovely cozy little greenhouse here to the side with plenty of light coming in from the outside at the moment, of course, and some really cool little plants growing all the way around us. And then we can, of course, go upstairs to explore all the different layers. There's lots of little decorations around, which is always cool to explore. And I think there was about 9 little chests hidden all over the place for the event to find. But yeah, we can see the next layer here. We have some cozy vibes going on, some nice plants growing around us, a little table to hang out at, cozy vibes up here, and someone's bedroom. Careful not to roll off down the barricade here. And then we can go all the way up here. We have a little bit more of a sleeping room, so the whole tribe can hang out and can sleep here. And then I think we have some final beds all the way at the top, and of course access all the way to the top, which leads to the ghost Reaper we already saw before. But we also have access here to a nice little balcony on the sides. Yeah, all things combined, it makes for a really cool and atmospheric build, and definitely a really cool event here as well in the Aberration zone. Then next up here at the edge of the white chalk cliffs, we have another pretty big base coming up with a few different builds, including a pretty modern looking water pen. We have your mom's house, and we also have a honey pot apparently. So yeah, plenty of things to check out. And if you're wondering where it's located, it's right over here. So right on the edge of the chalk cliffs and the redwood biome. First of all, I thought we would start checking out this water breeding pen in this lovely little lake. I think it was loosely based on the shape of one of my modern breeding pens, but then of course heavily changed, because as you can see, it seems to focus mostly on just having a safe water breeding pen inside, and also still access to the rest of the lake. So I mean, I guess you could just have more tames out here in the water. There's definitely plenty of space here to do all the breeding you need. Let's see if we can actually go in. Maybe we can't. Maybe we'll have to break in. There we go. Breaking in, breaking and entering. So yeah, this is a pretty nice water pen, safely all inside and enclosed. And it looks like we've got a bunch of sharks right here, looking very, very, very cool indeed. Yeah, some really cool sharks. I mean, I like sharks. If you didn't know, I quite like sharks. But yeah, this seems like a pretty nice sized breeding pen. Like, you have plenty of space here, probably mosas, etc. Could still easily fit inside, so there's no issues there. So yeah, that is the breeding pen. Then we're gonna follow the way. I'm gonna keep floating now because maybe more doors won't be unlocked and I can just kind of go through. So we have the staircase going up into the base. We got some elder claws greeting us here, and then we get to the main house here, looking quite cool with these trees around it for some nice atmosphere. And then we got your mom's house, and that's the one we're gonna check out now. Looks like there is still some pumpkins over, decorations left over maybe from Halloween, because of course that is what we celebrated here on the Valguero playthrough, so we might see some influences of that still around. Definitely some nice cozy vibes in general around this place. So let's go head inside. I'm just gonna float through now. I'm in floating mode anyway. We have a cozy, nice living room here to hang out. We have another nice little room here, leading off to a basement, probably a lot of storage going on here. So this seems to be a more practical side to the base. Plenty of cryo storage down here. All the storage everywhere. And then we have a nice little dining room in here, looking quite cozy. We have even a little like greenhouse out here with some nice views of the surroundings, some nice greenery in here too, some nice cozy vibes. You have a little bit of a kitchen going on here, pantry and everything. And then we have the staircase leading up, I assume. There's one room over here, the bathroom back at the end here, and then the other way, I assume, is gonna lead us up to where all of the rooms are going to be. So I think this is quite a big tribe living here, so probably plenty of different little bedrooms to explore for all of the different tribe members. There we go, some really cozy vibes in here. And we have a little balcony here at the back too. Seems like we had one there on the other building as well. We have some more rooms over here. Another cozy little bedroom with some nice ghost creatures around. Really interesting to see those still being here. I quite like that they added a lot of new of those variants. I would have loved to see some more skeletal variants as well though, because I kind of like that. Quite cool to use as kind of display decorations. But yeah, we have plenty of rooms for all of the different tribe mates, and you know, giving them all their own little place to decorate. We have another staircase leading up to the attic here, where we have a little bit more storage it seems, and I guess some Vilas here just chilling in the attic. Does this go anywhere? Is this just an exit up to the roof? Oh, that's quite clever. So you can park your flyers all the way on top of the roof without, you know, needing an extra spot for that. That's always quite nice. And looks like there's also a little backyard going on here with plenty of plants, some nice vibes and decorations back here to bring it all to life. Like a proper little building, little house, normal little house, little backyard. And it looks like there's even some more here, some nice displays going closer to the waterfall, and a lovely little bridge crossing that, and some other nice spots to hang out. Ooh, these are places where you can hatch some elder claws. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool in general. And then I think if we follow the base this way, we should get to the honey pots, I'm pretty sure, although there seems to be something else here. Then this over here looks like some kind of breeding pen, kind of a nice round building here with some space in the middle for breeding projects, some food as well. And then I expect, yeah, plenty of room here along the sides to have a bunch of different creatures everywhere. And there we go. We can go all the way around. Different breeding base, I suppose, where they can keep creatures breeding when they're working on something. There we go. And then there is also some buildings right next to it. Looks like there's a little greenhouse here for the Elder Claws. Of course, everyone working on their Elder Claw breeding. And we have a hallway going on to some more builds. We have a little bit of like crafting here, I think. And then we have library up here, so a little blueprint library, I guess. And then there was one more building. No, that's the one we just came from. There was something here at the end, which I guess is, yeah, this is like the main storage area here. And we have some more storage up there, I guess. And then I think, oh, there we go. There's the honey pot that I've been told about. So let's go inside. I assume that's going to be a little bit of a greenhouse. There we go. We've got some nice plants all around us. There's some nice trees right here in the middle. Nice display. Oh, I love the Elder Claws. Elder Claws are really nice to have like in garden displays because they kind of blend in. And then we have some more Elder Claws around the base to kind of decorate. Yeah, the Elder Claws are definitely a really beautiful new creature. And then having a little garden with like a little dermis display is always a nice addition. And then it looks like we have some more greenery going up here. There we go. Yeah, that's quite nice. And some more bees on top, of course. Yeah, there we go. So a little honey pot, and that makes for quite the cool base. And next up we have another base here in the Redwoods and more tree platform bases here. Of course, I mean, it's a very big Redwood, so it makes a lot of sense that loads of people are building here. And yeah, we can see a few different platforms up here. And if you're wondering about the location, it's right over here on the map near the big lake, all the way in the corner of the world. And yeah, looks like we have a little Reaper birthing house here where there's some separate rooms you can use to safely birth a new baby Reaper. And we have a few different tree houses here to check out. So let's start over here at the greenhouse, because then we can just kind of go follow the bridges, I think, around, and it should lead us to all of the different ones. And we're going to go float right inside. And the first one is a nice greenhouse up in a tree, you know, to grow all those crops, hatch the other claws, and etc, etc. Greenhouses have never been so important and so popular, I think. Loads and loads of greenhouses in this world for sure. And then we have the next, well, tree house, and this is looking like it's going to be more storage and crafting focused, with some visual storage setup, with plenty of different crafting stations all the way around us. And yeah, some nice storage everywhere, some visual storage setup, always good to see. And definitely some forging happening there. Very nice and easy setup. I always like a round base, and of course tree houses are the best way to go for a round base. And actually quite like how they've kind of enclosed the tree from the outside and kind of preserved it in such a way. I really like the design going on here, and that the trees kind of kept secure in the middle. Got a little unloading dock here, teleporter, and the bridge over to the next treehouse base, which looks to be slightly bigger, has multiple floors. I mean, I guess, no, well, this is, I was going to say technically this has multiple floors, but that's just the roof. There's nothing there. This looks like it has a bit more space, probably for some creatures, maybe to do some breeding up on these platforms. And again, the tree kind of encased in the middle, preserving that tree right there. And then we have a nice staircase up into the actual base itself. So we're going to float right in. We have a nice sign over here. And then we have the lovely base. We have a nice living room here with a kitchen going on. We have some nice decorations around. We have more to check out. Some nice modern designs going on in here. Oh, look at that. Nice fireplace. Nice and cozy bedroom going on. Little reading nook with a cute little Cosmo as well. And then I think we've probably made it almost all the way round again to the entrance. Yeah, this is roughly where we entered, I think. There is a small little room here, but doesn't seem to be anything there. We have another tree that's encased, of course. Let's just quickly check if we haven't missed anything. There is a little staircase to go up to this layer, which seems to be a little bathroom right up here. Very nice. And then I guess the next layer will be accessible from this side, where we have some nice views up here for sure. We have some nice balconies up here. I don't know if... Oh, there are some rooms here. Yeah, there we go. There's some little rooms here as well. I guess for the different tribe mates, so they can also visit and log out wherever they want. There we go. Different rooms for everyone. All around the base. This one's still empty though. But I mean, at least it's a nice way to get up here. And then, yeah, again, I kind of like how the tree is just kind of in the middle there. Kind of just preserved, not interfered with too much. But yeah, that does make for quite a cool base. And I think this was... No, this is not the last platform. There's another one right over here, which seems to be another one dedicated to breeding projects going on. Very, very nice. And that together makes for like a little treehouse village as a base, which is of course definitely a very good choice here on Valguero. Next up, we have another base here in the Redwoods. Seems quite a popular location here on Valguero for sure. And we have a lovely Elven Treehouse, which is definitely cool to see. Always like a good treehouse base, and the Elven style, I think, is not done enough in ARK. So definitely excited to see and check that out. And it's looking quite cozy. It's all the way on the edge of the map here with a very nice little lake here. Quite a peaceful location, I would imagine. All the way over here at the edge, as I said, like all the way at the edge of the map. But yeah, that does mean that you can probably live in some peace and quiet out here. So let's head over here. Seems to be some stairs up to the actual platform itself, so that you can easily get up and down. That's of course very convenient for if you left your flyer up here and you need to get back up to your base. So there seems to be a decent platform here. I would assume this is utilized for some breeding. And again, lovely little place, nice open clearing with this small little lake. Means that you got plenty of water. You could probably do a little bit of water breeding even in this lake. So yeah, that is quite a nice setup and an easy place to drop off your gathered tames and unload into your system. So there we go. Let's check out the base itself. Looks like we have a nice crafting room right in here when we enter. We have smelting set up around the place. Looks like this is definitely the crafting storage layer of the base, but with some really nice views to the outside, of course, utilizing all these beautiful pieces to get some nice arches and intricate designs going, combining, I think, clingers and CKF and that's probably the main two, judging by some things that I recognize. But yeah, looking very, very, very nice up here. Let's see, there's a staircase leading up to the next layer up here. We can actually make it up there. There we go. And then there's a few rooms off to the side. That's locked. We'll get in there no matter what. There we go. We have nice balcony so that we can also walk around it. And I love these curved pieces. That's ASR in usage there as well, to get some nice curves for the roofs, which is so nice. It's so nice to see in ARK any like curved roofs, because it's just not something that we can do normally. So it's very cool to see that in action, and kind of do get those different shapes that you don't really see that often or expect to see in ARK. Definitely makes for a fun game changer. And then we also have some of these nice glass roof pieces, probably to keep some greenhouse effect going. But yeah, that's looking very, very cool. Let's try and get into all of these rooms. So there's a little bit of greenhouse going on here for sure. All sorts of plants growing up here. Nice and cozy. Always makes for a nice atmosphere, I think. And we have a little guest room over here to log out in. We've got room for Jenny right over here. Nice and cozy. And again, some pretty nice views of the forest. And then this one we'll have to break into. There we go. And we have another little bedroom over there. Looking very, very cool. But yeah, in general, as I said, I just really like a good elven build, a good treehouse build. And this is definitely a cozy little place in the forest. And then there's another little staircase coming down from the side here, so that you can enter and exit to the ground straight away. And yeah, very peaceful little corner of the world, it looks like. Well, there's some protection in place as well, but yeah, very nice. Next up, we have one of the Hobbit Holes turned into a base here. So, of course, one of the pre-built locations, but definitely a very cool option to turn into your own base. And we have a cozy little garden here with a little bit of greenhouse. Well, not really a greenhouse, but some plants growing outside here. And it looks like we have a generator and some fertilizer action going on here. So everything growing here on the outside. But of course, the main event is going on here on the inside, where we have a cozy Hobbit Hole base going on. Well, I say cozy, but the first thing we see here is actually some zombie dodos. All right, let's take a look here on the inside. Luckily, we're allowed to go right on into the Hobbit Hole itself. So I'm quite curious actually to see how they've turned this into a base and how cozy they've managed to make it. So far, I quite like actually that they've divided up this hallway a little bit, making it a little bit more cozy that way, you know, having some decorations all around. And actually looks like there's some really cool decorations here at the end as well. And yeah, some trophies of the adventures that have been had. And we can go into the, well, the main part, of course, of that base seems to be a teleporter here. And then we're getting into the main room, and it's looking very cozy indeed over here. We have also another chibi right there. And then we have the main room to get into. Lots of wooden tones to make it feel more cozy. A lovely fireplace as well to bring in the warmth, and just a very cozy little living room right here. I always quite like when they display all the adventures like this. And then we actually also have plenty of chibis here. Could be from the recent Halloween event, of course. And yeah, there's plenty of cool different ones all the way around the room over here. And over here, it seems like we have one bedroom back here. Very cozy little aesthetic. Turning this, which is normally just a stone room, into something quite cool indeed. And then we have another little room over here. Looks like some kind of like office maybe, or just like a little library or reading room over here. And yeah, looking quite nice indeed. I love all the little decorations everywhere. And then back into the main room, we have some more rooms back here, of course. Looks like a cozy kitchen over here with all of the different crafting stations you might need, with a bunch of the Astraeus custom cosmetics in here. Over here, it looks like we have a bunch of the crafting and storage going on. Lots of glowy lights in the dark, which all connects into each other, so it's easy, well, to reach every different room. And it does seem like we have a little bit of an upstairs too. Looks like there's a little bit more crafting going on up here with different crafting stations and a bit more storage behind these doors, I'd assume. Yeah, there we go. We have a bit more storage there. And then we have a ramp down here as well, so they can easily get around it. And yeah, quite like the interconnectedness of this and the way they turned this, well, big stone hole into something way more cozy. And if you didn't know where these are located on the map, they're right over here. And then the next base is right here on the shores of the big lake on Valguero. And yeah, one of the popular starting locations with this little ruin right on the beach here. And it is, of course, located right here, pretty much in the center of the map. So quite a good spot to choose. And as you can see, we have a bit of a water pen out here for some of those water tames, although I mean not much necessarily to do, of course, in the water here on Valguero. But there seems to be quite a big base here, quite a lot to explore, so let's go check it out. This is the little ruins that are here on the shores, kind of rebuilt and worked into this water pen that is also out here. So we have a bunch of little water tames out there, always good to see, of course. And yeah, for the rest, it's just a nice cozy build, utilizing the existing ruins and making something more out of that. Then we have a bit of a forest going on over here, it looks like. Seems like we have a nice Impero sleeping here. This is one of the coolest modded creatures that I've released recently. It's really awesome. And then it looks like we also have an Elder Claw here hidden in the forest, again utilizing a little bit of these pre-built structures as part of the base, and then a bunch of trees around it to make a little forest. Then we have the Lido parked over here. Lidos are pretty cool too. Still need to get me one of those. And then we have some dragons, of course, always dragons around. And we have the first little building. This looks like quite a cozy little build here. It looks a little bit like a greenhouse, or at least it's got some greenhouse vibes. It's got a lot of plants on the roof, at least. Definitely looking quite cool in general, with a nice little beachfront property here. So let's check it out. Let's see if we're allowed inside. We are using some of the clinger structures in here in this build. We got a nice chibi to check out, and a very cozy little building here. Looks like we've got a bedroom over here, again with those nice windows. The Lido chilling outside. Cozy little kitchen here, some of the Halloween decorations, and yeah, just a very cozy little interior. I like this little piece in the middle. Nice divider for the room. Cozy little living room here in general. And then I think this is the access point here to this little balcony at the back, so we can enjoy the nice views of the lake and enjoy the life here at the Valguero beaches, the lakeside property. And let's see if there's anything else. There seems to be a little bathroom back here. Very nice. And then we have another little room here. Oh, another bedroom over here right at the end of the building too. There we go. Very nice and cozy little house. We have a bunch of species plants here to protect. We have cloning chamber right here. Lots of cloning chambers have been used recently, of course, because we had the Halloween event. Everyone's been getting zombie wyverns, and I think a bunch of people have been cloning a bunch of those to get some good armies together for all sorts of fights. And then it looks like we have some kind of dino pen right over here, so let's go ahead and check this out. We have, oh, what the heck? That's definitely cosmetic. I was like, that's way bigger than it's supposed to be. Got a nice Gigantoraptor there. Looking cool. We have some different plots for all different creatures. We've got a cool turbo. Love the turbos. Ooh, that's a nice skin too. Yeah, we have the S Androsarchus. We have bison, some doets, all sorts of creatures nicely lined out in this this little dino pen building. We've got some Thessalos sutures, some Lidos, a little bit big, but they still fit. And then we have some UTs right there at the end, and then another lovely little garden bit by the looks of it right over there. There does seem to be a little extra room up here for some smaller tames. There's an RG chilling out up here. Oh, there's another RG up here. So yeah, there's a bit more space right up there at the top of the building, but a very nice dino pen here. And then we have a little garden bit here with some howling wolves. Very, very cool. And some really cool trees in general to fill up the landscape. Let's see, there is something being built right behind it. Doesn't seem to be quite finished yet, but definitely some kind of building being made. And then we have, I think, a lot of dermises around just to have some cool displays. And we have Karka here as defense maybe. And then we have a little forest. Just chilling down here. Lots of lovely trees. Oh, another little elder claw. It's just had some food, I suppose. In another little, well, it looks kind of like a ruin at least. But this one's made by hand. Yeah, very nice. And then we have a defensive wall all around the property. Bunch of trees to bring it all to life. More protection. A little dock out here as well, looking over the other side of the lake down there. And then it looks like we have some more buildings coming up here. Now this might be the actual greenhouse, because that definitely looks like a lot of glass in there. So let's see this one. There we go. That is a greenhouse, and there is definitely some greenery growing. Some elder claw eggs, of course, very important for your greenhouses now. Bunch of plants growing all around, and even more up here. But yeah, most importantly, of course, having a nice place for your elder claws to hatch and yeah, get those babies going. Got a little skeleton wyvern up there. I think we had some water. Oh, we have another wyvern back here. And then we have the main building, I think. Certainly looks like the main building. We got a big rock column here in the front. Ooh, chalk elemental. Nice, nice, nice. And then we have the main building, I think. We got some mail-free stuff. We have a nice entranceway here into the base. There's some really nice displays here for artifacts. That's quite cool. These pedestals. Very, very nice. The teleporter right here, central in the middle. And then we have the main building. So let's take a look inside. We can enter the main base. Oh, look at these little guys. Very, very nice. So this seems to be like the main crafting hall with all sorts of crafting going on. And a little friend up there. Nice crafting hall with all the things you would need. And let's see what else is here. So we have some storage set up on the side, visual storage that we have here on the cluster. Nice ghost RG2. So yeah, a bit of storage over here. And then I'm gonna guess there might be something. Oh no, there's like a little nice place to relax out here. Can hang out, relax, enjoy the views all around you. And yeah. Oh, there is a way up. I was gonna say that building looked a lot bigger, but I guess it's because of the storage and the things at the side. Oh, we can go up. We got the main living room up here, I suppose. Some nice decorations, some chibis in the shelves, and we have some more to the side. So it looks like there's more storage over here on this side. So yeah, more visual storage bins going on. I was gonna say, I saw those side roofs, like surely there's gonna be more, but yeah, there is. So all the storage up here as well, neatly organized up here. Very, very nice. And then we have another room in here, so another bedroom over there. And then we have another nice little rooftop balcony. Well, not really rooftop, but nice balcony with some good views up here. Of the surroundings. Very, very cool. There we go. So that is the main building. Then we do have a little building behind this with the tribe tower on top by the looks of it. I'm not sure if there's anything else in here. Oh, that's a cruel room in there to make some kibble. So yeah, then I think that kind of sums it all up. So yeah, nice Lakeside Base. Then next up is this little clay house, or at least that's the one that's been entered. There is a few more builds going on here at this location. I'm not sure if it's totally finished yet, but there is some nice tree platform bases. But this seems to be quite a cozy little themed build out here. And if you're wondering about the location, it's right over here on the map in the redwoods. And yeah, looks like a cozy little build. I've actually not built with any of these cosmetics. I think it's, well, something clay, I suppose. But yeah, they look quite cool actually. Quite a cool little theme to it. Seems to be some nice decorations out here as well, setting up the scene a little bit. We've got some carts around. We have plenty of little details. Oh, look at that. Even the forge has a nice skin to it. So it looks a little bit like the boarded up style. Kind of fits the Halloween vibes that we had for a lot of Valguero, of course. So let's go and take a little look inside over here. So we have the main room, nice and cozy with the fire in the middle. And we have some crafting all the way around us, some little decorations, and then yeah, we have the double entrance here, of course. So there's 2 ways to get in, but then there's 3 other ways to go. So we have a little bit of storage here over to the side with some more crafting around us, nicely set up. And then on the opposite side we have a nice little bedroom over here. Tiny little scorpion, nicely decorated too. Like I really like the vibes of this place. Fits quite well, I think. And then we have the final direction to go in, which is a little bit more crafting and storage going on here. Very nice. Then we have a little, ooh, there we go. Got a little cage. Some nice displays. And then I think the final doors, oh no, it's still not done. We have a little more to go for. More decorations here. And then we have some double doors that lead down to that forge. That's actually what I expected, but I guess it was a little bit bigger. So yeah, it's a really nice and cozy little build, but I quite like it. And yeah, as I said, there is more to the base. There's a whole greenhouse here to the side, growing all sorts of crops, of course. Then there seems to be another greenhouse setup over here. There we go. So even more. And then there seems to be mainly big room here, probably for some breeding. Looks to be plenty of space on these platforms at least. But that might still be in progress, because at least everything that was entered was the clay house itself. But yeah, looks like there's gonna be some more cool things going on there. But yeah, I really like the little cozy vibe. Kind of proves that it's really all you need space-wise for a base, for your crafting and stuff. You don't need a lot. And you can keep it nice and cozy.